Hey, Gabe here from bettermissions.com, and this is part 3 in the series as we just kind of go through some of the devotions in my new book, Keep the Fire Going, Devotions for After the Mission Trip. And today's devotion is called What's in a Name? And it comes out of the scripture in Luke chapter 19. That's the place of Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus is one of my favorite guys in all the scripture. He was more than just the wee little man that we've kind of turned him into thanks to that daggum VBS song. I'd be so mad if I was Zacchaeus. His whole existence got turned into just him being a short guy. And he's so much more to it than that. But anyways, it's the part of the story where Zacchaeus is up in the tree and Jesus looks up in the tree and he calls him out by name. He says, Zacchaeus. I find that so interesting, that Jesus, he knew the man's name. And we don't think about it a lot of times, because people know our names. They call us by our name. We have family, friends, coaches, teachers, whatever, employers, they know your name. They call you by your name. It's just normal. But a guy like Zacchaeus, for Jesus, a man of God, a rabbi, a prophet, a minister, right? To know his name as a tax collector, a bad guy, a thug, a gangster, mafia kind of dude, that was a big deal. And you just start thinking about how big of a deal it is just to know somebody's name, especially when you start doing mission work. And actually, I remember just from when I was in college, it was the first week of college, and freshman year, you're trying to get to know people, you're trying to make friends, trying to, figure out who you're going to be and who your friends are going to be and all that good stuff. And I remember one night, it was one of the first week I was there, I sat down and I had this really great conversation with this girl, and she was really pretty and she was fun and she was just awesome. It's like hour and a half long conversation. I felt really good about it. And so the next day, I actually saw her in the cafeteria, and I said, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And she said, "Hey, buddy, how are you?" She had forgotten my name. It was devastating. It was really just hurtful, right? It's those little things like that. And then I remember one time we were out in the street and we'd been serving all summer, and I got to know this guy named James, and we found out it was James's birthday coming up. And so on his birthday, we made him this big batch of chocolate chip cookies, and we got one of those like styrofoam to go plates, and we put all the cookies in there. We wrote James on the top of the box. And that day we found James downtown where he normally was, and we gave him the box of cookies, and he took it and he just stared at it, and he said, "That's my name." I said, yeah man, that's for you." And he said, "Well, that's my name." I said, "Well, James, there's some really good cookies in there, man. Like, there's some on the inside." He said, "Yeah, but this is my name. This is my name. This has my name on it. This is mine." Yeah, man. Like, he was so much more appreciative and thankful of just his name being on the box than he was what was inside. There's just something important about a name. But you really start thinking about people that we often serve on mission trips, whether it's an orphan. Well, an orphan usually gets lost in a sea of children. People might not know his name because there's a whole bunch of other kids. Or you might be working with prisoners. Well, prisoners have been turned into a number, right? They are a cell number. They are a number on their jumpsuit, right? If you're working with the homeless, a lot of times those guys have just come out of prison, so just experience that. And they might be in a shelter system where they're a bed number or they're a client number, things like that. So often the people that we serve or that we get to meet and talk to and hang out with, a lot of people don't know them. A lot of folks get treated like they're invisible, like they don't actually exist. So just to learn somebody's name, just the smallest little detail like that can make such a huge difference. Just to learn their name, to get to know them, hear their story, hear kind of what they've been through, what they're going through, what they're trying to accomplish. All those little things that we take for granted can make just a huge impact in somebody's life. And so whatever you're doing, as you kind of get back into the swing of things, as you're getting back into your home, your community and all that, and as you hopefully are going out and serving, don't worry about doing the big life-changing, life-altering. Don't worry about that stuff. You can't do that stuff anyway, for being honest. But what you can do is the little things. And learning people's names, hearing their stories, getting to know them just a little bit, just loving them in that moment, listening to them, little things. Makes huge difference. Huge difference. So that is this devotion, and keep the fire going. Hope you're enjoying the series, and I hope you'll check out the book. Have a good one.